Welcome to Not in a Huff with Jackson Huff, where we interview newsmakers, storytellers, and all-around interesting people. Sit back, relax, unless you're driving, and enjoy the show. Here's Jackson.
Hello. I am Jackson Huff. This is Not in a Huff. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, really appreciate it. This week, speaking with Malachi Gagnon. Now, Malachi is another young, up-and-coming artist. I've had a few on in this past couple weeks, and I've got several coming up, so I do hope that you enjoy these kind of interviews. You know, this podcast is so much about teaching you things and learning about different people. I think what better way to use this podcast than to highlight up-and-coming artists that maybe you haven't heard of, but the next big thing, or you're going to check them out on Spotify and you'll be like, man, this music is really, really good. I had so many people on in the past, and I don't want to leave anybody out, that's just putting out some really great music. Just a few weeks ago, just to name one, because it was the most recent, Chloe Styler out of Australia, that country artist. Just, I've since that episode, I have followed her on Spotify and really, really enjoying that music. So here's another one today, Malachi Gagnon, a young artist, still under 18 years old, still kind of in the infancy of his career, put out a few songs and really kind of taking that industry by storm for sure. I think that you're going to enjoy his music as well. It's got that that kind of pop country style to it, kind of that new age, world. I certainly don't have all the correct definitions for different musical styles, other than to say it's good music. That's what I can tell you for sure. We're going to talk just about his, his life in music thus far, juggling music in high school still, juggling kind of being able to write songs about, love and heartache and all these relationship woes that are so important in country music at a young age. So it's just we never want to kind of harp on people's age, but it's just a fact that at 16, 17 years old, you probably haven't had a ton of those heartaches that is possible in the future. So how does he get that inspiration? I thought his answers were really, really kind of insightful there. So I think you'll enjoy hearing about that. You enjoy hearing about somebody, going after their dreams and looking to achieve great things. Here is Malachi Gagnon. I'm here today with Malachi Gagnon. Mr. Gagnon, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hardest question, just introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm a 16-year-old stinger from Concord, New Hampshire. I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been releasing music, and I love what I do. It's cool. It's kind of gained a lot of traction recently, which is exciting. And I'm just having fun. I love doing this, and it's my dream. It's my passion. I've always had a thing for music. So just being able to, do this and just put myself out there is really fun.
No, that's awesome. And you mentioned right out of the gate, you being 16 years old and doing it for 3 years already. So you started very young. So I always like to ask people kind of how they got their start in music, but it was relatively soon for you. I would assume that given that you were already releasing music at 13, you must have kind of got into singing pretty early in life.
Yeah, I've always had like a thing for just music and melodies and writing in general. But I had never really like gotten into it too much until it was like during COVID, like that whole pandemic. I was just sitting in my room, bored out of my mind, and I had this like $20 guitar that everyone has one of those Walmart guitars, and so I grabbed it and I started self-teaching myself guitar. I was watching YouTube videos. I was watching Marty Schwartz on YouTube, just learning how to play chords and how to strum, and it kind of just kicked that off. And I was like, I like this, so I started doing it more often. And I was just hanging out with my family, and we had this like talent show thing with a couple of friends, and I was Ooh, I was 12. And I had never sung in front of my family like seriously. I'd sing in the car, I'd sing in the shower, but never really in front of them. And I was just like, I have no talents. So I just I grabbed a microphone and a little karaoke machine that we had, and I sang "You Are the Reason" by Calum Scott. And my dad was a little more confident in me than I thought anyone would be. And so we started I was started just singing all the time. And so my birthday was probably like 2 weeks later, and we just went out and got a guitar, a real one, not a $20 one. And
Mm.
yeah, I started putting like cover videos on Instagram and TikTok, and it was cool because a good amount of people liked it, and they engaged with it, even though I was like a 13-year-old writing music and just singing on there. And it was really cool to just be able to do all of that. And then I grew that fan base to a point where I was confident in myself, and I wrote a song and I brought it to my dad. I was like, I got a song for you. And it was my first song, Craving Me. I had never written a song before that. And I, I was confident in it. So we went to the studio and cut it and dropped it. And it was March 25th of 2022. Yeah. And it's been 2 years since then. And it's still so surreal to me. It's like crazy that I've been doing this for 2 years. And it's just become my way of living, really. Just how I do life is music.
Yeah, I just wonder, because most people talk about how, they got the idea for songs just based off of, lived experiences. Obviously, at 14, there's a little less of those lived experiences, not to discount the experiences that you've had, but I just wonder how did that songwriting process go at that age?
Yeah, it was just I always listen to music like all the time. I love listening to it. So I'm able to hear stories from other people, and doing and saying it through their thing, and then like my friends who have stories who are older than I am, and my parents who have stories, and my friends' parents, whatever. And so I was able to, pull from experiences from their lives and other people's like storytelling, and just I was able to write Craving Me, my first single, and it was a lot of fun. It's kind of like this, as first songs are, just fun, poppy, you know, candy coated because it's about sugar. And it's fun. It's just yeah, I pulled from mostly other people. And then my second song, which has grown to be a fan favorite in a way, and everyone like that's like the song people talk about when they talk about me. I'm like, I've released, a couple more, right? Like, yeah, but Psychopath. And it's about, this girl who you love her, and, you know, you separated yourself from her, but you still love her even though she's crazy. And people always laugh because I was 14 at the time of writing it and releasing it. And they're like, how do you even like, have you ever lived that? I'm like, no, but there are some crazy 14-year-olds. So, I pulled from that, I just
Yeah,
see these crazy people and, but,
yeah,
yeah, I was just able to pull from other people mostly is how I did it. And then just what I think relationships are like. So
yeah. Well, I hear you there, and I think that if you do get a song that kind of really gets big, and depending on your career, I've talked to a ton of people that are talking to me about how everyone just remembers me for this one song, and this is 30 years later, so you may be in for quite the ride if you're already dealing with that with this one song. So that's kind of funny. I wonder too. You talked about how you sung in front of your family for that first
mm,
time, a cover. You started releasing covers, and it was well received. There's one thing to have a good singing voice and to be able to sing. It's a whole nother thing to be able to write. So how did you find that you had that ability too? We already talked about how you
mm.
you know found your inspiration, but what did that exactly look like? Because writing is a whole lot different than singing.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's actually become my favorite part of music is just like sitting right in my bed and just is sitting on my guitar and writing as much as possible. I do it all the time now. And that's a really hard question to answer because thinking back on it, can't think of a moment, right? But I can think, the first song. had some fun uh like references or what not references like analogies and stuff. And my dad is always a great communicator. He's a great communicator, and so I got it from him, I think. That's right. I'm pretty sure I got it from him. He's a great communicator. And so I think yeah, I'd say that. That's how I probably got it. I just started writing songs on my own, and some of them were corny, and some of them were pretty heartfelt and deep for a 14-year-old. But yeah, it's easily my favorite thing to do right now is just sit and write. So
Yeah, and that's a question that I normally do ask people about
mm,
whether they prefer the writing side or the performing side. Normally
mm,
people won't give a straight answer, but you're saying that writing you like currently better than performing. Is that what I'm hearing?
mm. Yeah, I mean, I've done 2 live shows right now. So most of my stuff is just, online, and I'm booking more stuff for this summer, which I'm really excited about because I
Mhm.
did my first show at the New World Performing Center, and it's in Tampa, Florida, where I used to live. And it was just such a crazy experience because, you know, I'm young and I have this band behind me, and they're all super into music, and I'm like I'm just getting started. It was about a year ago. Yeah, it was about a year ago, and it was around Christmas time, and I was able to sing, my songs and a couple cover songs because I only had a couple out at that time. But I did 10 songs, and it was so nerve-wracking. Like I got out on stage, and I look at the crowd, and there's about 250 people, and about 200 of them I didn't know, which was such a weird feeling because you're looking at all these people and you're thinking like they're gonna here to sing with me, like they're here to see me perform. And so I try to sing and I can't. I'm like freaking out. I have this like smile on
Mm,
my face. I look like a deer in headlights. I'm like, what? But
mm,
I was able to find my footing, and I sang the first song, and it was cool because once I finished that song, I started off with a cover. It was What Ifs by Kane Brown, a pretty popular song. So I got people kicked off, and they were all excited, jumping. And I went right into my first song, Craving Me. And more people sang that song than the
mm,
cover. And I had like this weird like moment where I'm thinking, wait, they're singing my song.
mm.
But it was nerve-wracking, and it was cool. It was a great first experience for a concert. And then I did this huge festival in Tampa, Florida. It's right outside of Tampa. It's called the Strawberry Festival. It's a big deal. I mean, a lot of great singers have sung there. And I was in one of the tents on the side, and I was able to, stand on stage with my acoustic guitar and perform. And it was really cool. It's a lot of fun. But right now I do a lot of writing. And so just I would say, yeah, that's probably my favorite part is just sitting down and going through, experiences or stories that I'm able to come up with and just write and put feelings to emotions. Wait, no, put words to feelings that I have.
No, I
Mm,
love that. And I've got to ask, I assume that it's, either your parents' jobs or some other reason. I don't think people move from Tampa, Florida to New Hampshire for music, right?
No, we didn't move for. I was born in Dover, New Hampshire,
I got you.
and then we moved to Tampa, Florida when I was around 10. Yeah, I think 10. Lived there until recently, and we moved back, and it's been great. I love it here. This is like when I think of home, this is what I think of is New Hampshire. It's my favorite place to be, even though it snows in March sometimes. It's great. I love it here. But yeah, we didn't move for music.
Yeah, yeah. So what we've talked a little bit about your music, but what would you describe your musical style as? Is it pop?
Mm.
What are we looking at?
Ooh, so I did my first 9 songs. Well, I would say the first song was kind of pop. I was just kind of finding my footing, putting out a song, having fun with it, learning the bells and whistles of the studio. And but from there it's been country focused,
Hmm.
sort of like a country pop feeling. But I recorded um the last time I recorded before recently was it was way back. I think in like I have to think here because it was a while ago. It was like last April probably. And I recorded a song that I'd written in Nashville with a writer, the writer who wrote "Save Me" and "Son of a Sinner" for Jelly Roll. I was able to go out and write in Nashville with them. But I wrote a song and I recorded it there, and that was like in April. And so now recently, I just wrote, from April to a couple months ago, just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote hundreds of songs, and every song slowly got pulled more towards like singer-songwriter folk-esque feeling. And so it's not a drastic switch because I think, everything that I do will have a very big piece of me. But right now, this is, where I'm at and it feels like me. And that's the feedback that I've gotten too, is as like it feels more like you, it feels where you're at. So my next four songs that I've finished off are like a singer-songwriter folky feel, and I love it. I'm so excited because this is where I'm at. This is where I'm comfortable. All my writing is like that, and yeah, it's great. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I want you to tell us a little bit about a song that's coming up, and then I know maybe your most recent one. So talk us
Mm.
through Think About Me, which I think you said is coming out in May, and then the one that just came out in November, but no thanks to you.
Yeah, No Thanks to You is one of the songs that I wrote with his name is David Ray Stevens. He's a writer out in Nashville. He's done some great songs. He's an amazing guy and a great writer. He's really good at what he does. And it was cool to be able to go out in Nashville and learn because I was able to pick up on techniques that they have, see how they write, see how other people write, and just learn from the greats. And so I wrote No Thanks to You along with two other songs out there with them. No Thanks to You is one of the ones I recorded in Nashville. Like I wrote three, we recorded two there. And it was the last one we recorded. And it's a lot of fun because it was the only one we did with like a live band doing it all together and all like that. And so that was really cool to watch them do it. It's about you know, losing somebody and moving on, even though they made it really difficult. So you have that line, "No thanks to you," as the hook. And it's kind of like a fun feeling. Like you got over it, but it's not because they helped you at all. Like they made it more difficult than anything.
Mm,
So
mm.
yeah, that one's like country pop rock-ish. But it's a fun feeling. I'm really proud of that song. It's done well and it's a lot of fun. And then Think About Me is kind of the 10th song that I've done, and it's coming out in May 24th. It's kind of like a new chapter for me. It's got a more grounded tone, more like, fun back and forth stuff with the instruments, and it's really cool because it was the first one that I actually played acoustic guitar on, because other than that I did like just singing. So I was able to record my own acoustic guitar, and we got some great players on there. And it's about wondering if someone thinks about you the way you think about them. And so you have like you've lost somebody. That is a theme in a lot of my songs is heartbreak. Kind of bank off of that actually. But you're wondering if they think about you, like you go down the street where they used to live or the places that you used to be at with them, and you think of them, but you're wondering like, do they think of you the same way? I drew a lot of inspiration from an artist, Noah Khan. He's really big right now. Uh, I drew a lot of inspiration from him and the Lumineers for like the production style. It's yeah, it's my favorite one that will be out, and my favorite one, yeah, I would say my favorite one to date. It's a good switch of tones. It feels like me, and my favorite fun fact that I'll share is on this song, my grandma is in it,
Mm.
and she sings it's like a background vocal, but it's kind of fun to just say like, hey, my grandma's in that one.
That is
But it
that
was
is pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun to record that one, and just yeah, I'm really excited about that one. Think About Me, it's May 24th.
Yeah, we'll have to stay tuned for that one. And when we talk about, production value, obviously this is you're not the first person to do this, but I gotta give you credit for I've looked at some of like your shorts. I see them on YouTube and I like how several videos you've done where you're kind of like sitting in the car and you start singing the song and then it switches to the actual like music video. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like how that works.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the world of shooting these music videos look like? Because that's a whole nother world. I've talked to, we asked about whether you like the writing or the performing better. There's some people that I've talked to that just hate having to shoot music videos, and some people just ham it up. So where are you at with that?
It's a lot of fun. My producer for music is also my videographer. At Bison Films. His name is Spencer Bradham. And he's a great guy, good friend of mine now. Grown a real close relationship with him. And so, I'm close with him, and I've asked the two ladies that are in the first two music videos are my friends, and they were excited to be in it. And so I had good chemistry with them, obviously. So it was easy to just, bank off of their energy. And it's 2 days straight of shooting. And you're in different places, you're in different conditions for weather. During the Psychopath video shoot, that was my second song. It was like a thunderstorm, like bad thunderstorm. And obviously Florida, the lightning capital of the world. So it was bad outside, pouring rain. And so we had to like shoot around that and keep a similar theme and stuff. So it's really weird to shoot those things because you're in a character. You're not just performing a song like I did with my third music video I did. I kind of just performed it. It was like lights all in a warehouse. It was that one was really fun because I was just dancing and having fun. But the other ones you're playing this character and you have to convey emotions through just facial stuff because the song is doing the work for talking. So you can't like say anything. You have to mouth words and you're like yelling, but you're not even saying anything mean. You're just yelling about like pizza or something, but you have to look real angry. And so the two actresses that were in it, they were really good at it. And so it's cool to watch them back and like my friends will see them and they get excited for me and it's like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it's bittersweet because you get like drained from doing that. And I have a fear of the ocean from my first music video because I had to drop off of a pier into waters that I know. I went fishing there the other week and a guy caught a shark off of there. Not a full grown, it was a baby shark, but still, I mean, that's a shark nonetheless. And I had to jump off the back of it. And you can't like the bottom is it's really deep there. And so now I have a fear of the ocean, but it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. And I'm gonna shoot another one up in New Hampshire, probably this summer for one of these next four that I have finished.
One of the other people I talked to about music videos had a similar story about how they did not like having to film their videos anymore because they had to do a cliff jump into the water. What's up with these music videos and everybody making you jump into water
It's
for?
it's a vibe. You
Yeah.
gotta jump off of something sometimes. I wasn't made to do it, by the way. I did. It was my shot that I thought of.
Yeah.
And so, but it's really cool because there's a very large creative process that goes into it where you're on the phone for a few hours just plotting like different shots you can do where you're shooting because that's a really big role is the place you're shooting. It has to have a character also. And so, you have to make sure that no one else is around in the back. And people were really cooperative. Like you just told them we're like, hey, we're shooting a music video. You don't have to, but if you would move, that'd be nice. And they did. They were really nice about it. So that was exciting. But you have to like plan out the location you're at. You have to think of shots without even having been to the location. You have to like look at pictures online. You're like, oh, we could use that. I spent probably 5 hours in the water and a good portion of it underwater for the first music video because we had to get a lot of like we had to get a lot of underwater shots. So that was taxing, but we had thought of that before and we planned it all out. And so yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun process, especially if you know the people. Like if you don't know them, I haven't done that yet, but I feel like it could get difficult if you don't know the people. But I'm really close with everyone I've worked with, so makes it really easy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My day job is in college admissions and in the academic world. So I've got to ask at 16 years old, how are you juggling school?
It's tough. It's a lot. I do well though. I do well. I'm gonna finish school for sure, and I plan on going to college for 2 years. I want to get an experience. I want to live my life and not let music. Hopefully, I hope it goes somewhere. That's like the dream, right? But I want to live out my life, and I have a lot of friends at school, and so being able to like just do my thing. I love it. I love school, and recently has been really busy because I'm a theater kid too, not like drastic theater kid, but I did the play, and I had to learn lines for that while also writing my next song, and then I had to go to the studio and record. So I had so much going on recently. Finally, the play's over, and now it's just school and music. And school's 5 weeks out, which is still crazy to me because I'm going to be a senior next year.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's it's not too bad juggling school and music and stuff. Um, I'm not signed or anything. I'm an independent artist, so that's really easy to uh, do your own thing. You're not on a schedule most of the time, but you're able to just make your own rules. If you don't release a song, I haven't released a song in 5 months because I'm not on a thing. I wanted to take time, record new stuff, and I'm not on like a release a song now, now, and now, now. But so that makes it a lot easier. That's like a
Mhm.
very, easy thing to do is school and music. So it's not too bad.
No, that's is kind of the beautiful thing about, being on your own. Obviously, at some point, I'm sure that you want to be signed, but I've talked to people on the other side of things, normally like authors who spent so
Mm,
many years on deadlines and having to worry about all of that. They finally kind of got some notoriety. They went out on their own. Now there's no deadlines. It's a lot less
mm,
stressful. The only person that you're writing a deadline for is really yourself. So
hmm
I think you should I guess as much as you probably want to to be signed at some point, you'll probably eventually think, I liked when people weren't giving me all this pressure to write that next song.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I just recently, speaking of being signed, I signed a 3-song distribution deal with Sony.
Hmm.
So they're not, a label. They're just a team behind the music, and they're gonna promote it, and it's a really exciting deal because these 3 songs are like I'm really proud of, and I'm really excited to be able to get those out there, and with their help, I think that could be really cool.
No, that's exciting for sure. So when it comes to, I guess, the school aspect of thing, I just
Mm,
wonder how much of how much of your life is defined by music? Obviously, you started at a young age.
mm.
So let's just think about you being at school. Do people know, oh yeah, that's Malachi. He writes songs and he sings, or is it like a surprise when people go find your videos on YouTube?
No, I go to a relatively small school, so everyone knows everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so everyone knows and they're extremely supportive, which is really cool. They are all like super supportive. So that's exciting for me. And they care a lot about what I do. And so yeah, it's like they all know. They all know I do music. And yeah, it's cool because they care.
Yeah, no, that's always
Yeah.
a built-in fan base, right?
Yeah, it means a lot to me too, because they're also my friends. They're not just like, in it because I do music. And so that
Right.
means a lot.
Right. No, absolutely. We're talking about being supportive
Mm,
and how your dad kind of helped you in the very beginning. At a young age, doing music before you're 18, it does take a very supportive family. So I want to give them credit there. Talk a little bit about kind of
Oh yeah.
what that's meant to you.
Yeah, they are amazing. My family is the best I could ask for. Like sincerely, they are amazing people. My mom and my brother are my biggest fans. My brother is my legitimate biggest fan.
Mm,
We will go out and he will just start talking to people about it. I'm like, let's not, we don't have to promote myself right now. We're at the mall. I need shorts.
mm,
And he's like, you gotta like check out my brother. He does music, and
mm.
he's only a year younger too, so we're really close. And he is my biggest fan, so that's really cool. And then my dad and my mom are the biggest supporters I have. They build me up if I play every song that I write to my dad, and we'll go through a few of them, and yeah, he's stood by my side through a lot of this. And then I have kind of like this other family I have in my life. I've had them for as long as I can remember. They've just been a part of my life, and they're the best. They really are. It's the people that you have around you are so important because you have to make sure you surround yourself with this circle of people that care about you and that you can depend on at any point in your life. And so I've learned that recently, and it's cool to be able to have those people in your life that just they care, and it's really special. But that those people like uh, my friend, his name is Walter. He was on the drums in my first four songs. He played the drums at my first concert. He's been there for everything, every step of the way, and his family as well. It's amazing to have that group of people that just care about you. They're your number ones. They're your go-tos. This inner circle of people.
No, that's very important to have for sure. I wonder now just about talk to other young artists who
Mm.
want to get into this world. Maybe even not young artists, maybe somebody who's older and just haven't bet on themselves yet. Talk to them about, I guess, what advice you have.
Yeah, I would say the biggest mistake you can make is not taking a risk. It's it's really important that you chase whatever you want. I know like a lot of people say that you have to chase your dreams, but it's true. Like I wouldn't be here if I didn't pursue this. You have to have this passion for it. So if you have a passion for, music or really anything, actually, like anything in your life that you have a passion for, go for it. Because if you do something and you don't make it, that's all right. You at least you go down knowing that you tried your best. It's better to do that than to go do something you don't love, you know? Why not give it a shot? And I would also say, like I was saying just a minute ago, you got to surround yourself with people who support you in everything you do, who will always be there and who just care. I think that's probably the most important thing is to have that group of people. And yeah, I'd say my last thing would be put in the time. You can't slack on it. I kind of struggled with that for a little bit. I didn't, I kind of like I love doing it, but I didn't motivate myself and I kind of slacked off a little. But I kind of was you have to lock in. You have to pick up that guitar and you just gotta start doing things you've never done with the thing. You gotta start picking with it. You gotta grow. You can't sit at this one level in life. You have to take it to the next step. You have to keep pushing your voice. You gotta keep growing in everything that you do. And I think that's how you make it. I think that is how you do your very best is if you try your hardest, have people that care, and just chase what you love.
No, absolutely. We spent most of this interview obviously talking about the amazing parts of being in the music world because it's mostly highlights. We've talked about how you have been able to perform in front of people who sing your songs and that being special. Talked about how you've been able to write kind of your towards your passion and then write kind of your feelings, which is obviously a big thing too, creating that fan base. So all of this stuff that's really, really good. So we've got to look obviously at the flip side. You're still early on, but what's some of the things that you've realized kind of in the music world that isn't so great?
Hmm, it's a good question. I don't really know I can say much, honestly. I mean, you have, I mean, it takes time, and so you have to make sure. Like, I don't like making too many videos for Instagram to like promote, but I know I have to. Like, you have to do that now. You can't just put your music out. You have to promote it. It's a very big part of the music world now. And so that's tough, like making, new videos or, finding trends that people are doing and not being late to them because I've done that before. You gotta make it on time. But that's tough. But there aren't really that I found. I'm still young. I'm very, inexperienced compared to people. Um, so I wouldn't say there's very much that's bad,
No, that's good. That's good. So, in wrapping things up, that was kind of a
Mm,
great transition. When you talk about promoting, let's talk about how people can find your music. It's almost a non-question these days because it seems like
yeah.
everyone is using Spotify or YouTube or something like that. But shout out all your connection points, if you will.
I got you. Yeah, so I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Those are like the platforms, right? Same, all under the same name of Malachi Gagnon, which is Malachigagnon. You gotta spell that out. No one's guessing it. People try so hard, they can't guess it. And then I have my social media platforms. I do a lot, mostly on Instagram, and I do some videos on TikTok. Just Malachi Gagnon Music. That's where you can find me. Yeah.
No, well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me on here. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. So that was Malachi Gagnon. Really appreciate him joining us. Like I said, I really just enjoy speaking with new artists. I mean, overall, I enjoy just speaking with people about their passions, and I find that these people that are putting their passions on display, whether it's in music or sports or all these other things, are just always a joy to speak with, and Malachi was no different. So urge you to check out his music. He's got a couple songs out now, so not giving you too much homework, not telling you to listen to 15 albums of somebody. I think that it's probably less than 15 songs. I think it's less than 10 currently. So check him out, see whether it's something you're interested in. If it is, follow along with him on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, so you can check out all of the things coming up, because I know that he's got a lot in the works. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, appreciate you being here. Go subscribe and go follow to us on Spotify and Apple as well. Either place, following or subscribing really helps this podcast out. Leaving a 5-star review on Apple and on Spotify helps as well. Leave a written review on Apple, even more amazing. Follow along on Instagram, Not Enough Podcast. Not Enough with Jackson F on Facebook, jacksonf.com. Lots of places to follow along. I want to thank you for being here. Thanks Malachi for being here. We'll see you next week. Take it away, Chris.
This has been Not in a Huff with Jackson Huff. Thank you for listening. Be sure to join us next time, where we will interview another amazing guest who is sure to make you laugh or make you think. Or, hey, maybe even both. But until then, keep being awesome.